Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the 2013 Foundation Volunteer Awards reception. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here to help celebrate the magic wealth of volunteers. I can't believe what we would be like as a college if we didn't have our hundreds of volunteers that take the time to work with us to make a different experience for our students. We have four really wonderful examples of what volunteerism can do to make a college environment and college campus more vibrant. And these are individuals who some have excelled in the classroom as well as outside the classroom and have supported what goes on in the classroom. And we all know in our community, and I work with a lot of nonprofit organizations throughout the county, and every event I go to, I'm just totally amazed at the passion and the commitment of the residents of San Luis Obispo County to support the various causes and efforts that are being made. That's what makes San Luis Obispo County such a rich environment to live in, to work in, and to learn in. And so I'm extremely happy to be able to add these four individuals today to some faces and efforts that are being recognized. You know, when we do volunteerism, we learn a lot. We gain knowledge, we gain understanding about what goes on outside of our own little world. And it also gives us an opportunity to respond to the needs of our students and also the needs of the institution as well as the needs of the community in which we choose to live. And especially for our student volunteers, what I'm hoping that they've learned at Cuesta College is that no matter where they end up living, whatever community, whatever neighborhood, they have an opportunity to utilize that skill and that intrinsic need to help other people that's going to improve the quality of life in that particular community. And so that's the spirit that we want. You know, a volunteer has many qualities, including selflessness, understanding, the need to help, the desire to make a difference, and I think most importantly, a compassion for others. Doing something for somebody else and not just something to put on your resume or something to put on your college application to make it look good to the admissions team. And I believe that the individuals that we're honoring today do possess many, if not all, of those particular characteristics. Being president of Cuesta College gives me extreme opportunities to recognize people, and that's one of the most joyful things that I get to do, and that's to select people from a multitude of deserving people to be representatives of the other masses that don't get necessarily recognized formally. And it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to everybody here today. So we're going to be honoring two students, a faculty member and a community member today, for their commitment to Cuesta College and our various communities in which we live. And so now we're going to move on with the awards, and helping me today give out these awards will be Shannon Hill, our Executive Director of our Institutional Advancement Foundation program. So Shannon, if you'll come and join me. I also want to recognize some special guests that are here today. They're going to be assisting us with the distribution of not only some of these very nice memorabilia, but some certificates that we have. We have Supervisor Debbie Arnold from the County Board of Supervisors. So Debbie, if you'll join us over here. Congressman Lois Capps made sure that she recognized our four individuals and sent certificates. She was not able to be here. You know, she's been so busy entering into the congressional record all the wonderful things about Cuesta College's 50th anniversary, thanks to our students who badgered her back in Washington. And also, so representing Sandy McLaughlin will be representing Lois Capps. So Sandy, if you'll join us. And then also we have from Assemblyman Kacho Ashajian's office is Kevin Drabinski. And of course, Kacho is also an honored alum from Cuesta College, where he got his start when he immigrated here to the United States. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Shannon, who will introduce our first awardee.
Thank you, Dr. Stork. So I'm very pleased today to be part of these awards. I was part of it last year, my first time around, and I'm very excited to have been able to spend this past year getting to know our award recipients. Our first award today is the Outstanding Student Citizen Award. This award recognizes students who have given above and beyond the normal student volunteering and takes pride in being a Cuesta student here and is not given on a regular basis. Last year we had 2 recipients, and this year I'm very proud to give it to Nicholas Trujillo. Nicholas, will you come on up? What's up? Great. Thank you, sir. So in addition to your duties as a student, this year you have also been the Associated Students Vice President, Alpha Gamma Sigma's President, a Foundation Student Ambassador for the Cuesta College, and also part of our inaugural Phone-a-thon program, raising money for Cuesta and speaking to alumni and parents. You've contributed 600 hours at least, about that, above 600 hours to Cuesta and the community. You believe in the mission of Cuesta College and that you support us every day when coming to events and attending and participating, and most importantly, initiating. If you see something that we need to do, you go out and do it, and you inspire your peers and your colleagues and all of us to join in. You are a true leader. You also recognize when you need to ask for assistance and engage us, the faculty and staff here at Cuesta. And I personally really appreciate the opportunity to engage with you and mentor you, as well as the faculty and the community here we have. And also, you were recently honored, I understand, at the Alpha Gamma Sigma's statewide conference, receiving the prestigious Charles Bell Award, which is in recognition of your dedication to community service. So, Nick, I commend you for your leadership, and I am very pleased to give you this award today. Thank you so much. And if you would like to speak, you may as well. Jump in.
I just want to say that I received a phone call from Dr. Stork on Sunday, and he explained that I received this award, and I'm pretty honored to receive this award. I owe a lot to faculty, deans, administrators. I can thank almost everyone sitting at these tables that I've worked with and got to know throughout the years. I honestly thought the hard part would be selecting the college that I was going to go to, and to be honest, I think the hardest part is going to be leaving Cuesta College. You guys have given me a lot, and I just hope that in the future I would be able to give back to Cuesta College. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Congratulations, Nick. And it's easy to leave Cuesta College as long as you paid all your fines, and because there is a thing called a hold on the records, so we do have the last say before you do leave here. Our next award recipient is. This next award has been named for Betty Nielsen. Betty Nielsen was a longtime community activist supporting education in San Luis County. I remember Betty when my kids first started to get into elementary school, and she would come around and speak to parent group after parent group about the importance of Parent-Teachers Association and having parent involvement to support schools for which the state was not supporting. And she went on to become the state president for PTA, and our good fortune, she came and served on our board of trustees for 7 years. And in her last term of office, she died suddenly. But she was such an epitome of volunteerism that it was very easy to recognize and establish this award in the spirit in which she gave so many hours and days of her life. And this year's recipient is very typical of the kind of person that Betty would have handpicked from a crowd. And I know that the recipient knew Betty Nielsen, which even makes it more special. And so I'd like to invite Betsy Hardy to come up, please. So, as I said, you know, Betsy is a true recipient of the spirit of Betty Nielsen. When I called her, she responded like most great volunteers. Oh, I'm not worthy. You know, there's so many other people that support Cuesta College and do much more than I do. So, like, hang up and go away, you know. But I persisted, and I said, no, Betty, Betsy, you are truly deserving. And any time a volunteer receives an award like this, it really is receiving on behalf of many other people. And that's really what I hope, Betsy, you endear about this, that you are representing a wonderful group of people we call the North County Ambassadors. And this is it's almost a cult, you know, of wonderful community people who have supported Cuesta College, North County from the very beginning. And they're there at the very beginning of the semester, wearing their aprons and helping students get acclimated to the campus, pointing out directions of where classrooms are, where services are, how to get a parking permit, how not to get a ticket, you know, all the helpful hints of helping new students. And the other thing that she's been most noted for is that the tradition started in the North County about helping needy families around the holiday time. And she's been there every year helping to prepare holiday baskets for low-income students and their families. And it's all about developing and creating traditions. And that's one of the things that I've always enjoyed about working at Cuesta College is the establishment and the practice of traditions. And we're hopefully working on creating some more tradition at this institution that will stand the test of time. And Betsy, you've certainly been part of that, creating a legacy for Cuesta College about entering students and welcoming them as well as supporting those who are the most needy. So with that, I am so glad to have the honor of bestowing upon you the Betty Nielsen Volunteer Award. And we have a little goodie over here for you. And
I thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Stark. I have to say, in my past life in working for a living, I worked for 35 years with the Department of Veterans Affairs in West LA at the Medical Center. I was a director of volunteers. And when I say I don't think I'm worthy, I know because volunteers are absolutely marvelous. They get in, they kept our programs going for our veterans, doing all kinds of things. And at that point, I used to be able to give out awards. So getting one is very, very special to me, and it's great fun working at the North Campus. We get to do all these nice things. We get to meet all the wonderful new students. We get to take those that maybe are having a real hard time and they have a family and they really want to celebrate the holidays. And this gives us an opportunity working with the various staff in selecting those students and then really having fun shopping for them. So I think that's why I really like to do this, because I love to shop. So I thank you so much. Being a volunteer is wonderful. Anyone who wants to help us with our annual holiday program, be happy to have you join us. So thank you, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. So we now come to our third award, which is our John Schaub Student Volunteer Award. And this award is given annually to a student whose community volunteer work exemplifies the high standards established by Cuesta's first Dean of Students, John Schaub. And this year's recipient is Simon Rowe. Simon, would you like to come and join me? Now, Simon is a very accomplished young man, and he has started his education and has taken some twists and turns, and his life changed and brought him to Cuesta. And here at Cuesta, he may not have known exactly what he wanted to do when you arrived, but through the great work of our faculty, you were able to find your passion. And excelling in welding and automotive programs, Simon has represented Cuesta at numerous welding competitions statewide and nationally. He and his peers have placed among the top of many of those competitions, and he himself has placed first in individual competitions. Simon has volunteered his time and talent for many activities for Cuesta's programs, supporting and mentoring his fellow students, as well as his recent leadership in the creation of the time capsule that Cuesta buried just yesterday. And he has represented Cuesta as a student ambassador at community and college events with great presence and charm. It is my honor to present to you the 2013 John Schaub Student Volunteer Award. Good job. Thank you, sir. Would you like to speak? Why don't you say a word or two?
Yeah, all right, I'll say a few words. I just want to say thanks for everyone that got me to this position. I came to this college 3 years ago. It says in the pamphlet, by accident. Judy corrected my pamphlet and said, by happy accident, and that's completely true. After getting here, realizing the programs they had in the automotive and the welding, I was hooked, and I just absolutely love it here. I wouldn't trade this education for anything in the world. John Cascamo said in the back, I can see you here in 25 years, and I hope that is true. I would love to be back here in 25 years. I will leave for a little bit, though, but I will come back. So, all right. Yeah, Dr. Stork, thanks a lot. Thanks for the call. I apologize that I couldn't get back. I went to your office, but you weren't there. Dr. Stork, you're really hard to find, so. All right.
Good job, sir.
Thank you.
Well, I was glad Simon commented the fact that he is planning on leaving us for a while, because I was going to remind him that students don't get tenure. Okay? Yeah. We have some that think they have tenure, but... So, the last award today is a special one. I had the opportunity to spend part of Saturday last week at the Phi Delta Kappa Lay Citizen of the Year luncheon that recognizes special volunteers throughout all of our school districts within San Luis Obispo County, and we're included in that. And so I had the opportunity to be with Mike Fonts and his wife at that luncheon, and had the good fortune to introduce him and talk a little bit about why he's a special guy. So Mike, will you please come up and join me? Now, this award is named after our very first president, Merlin E. Eisenbeis. And what is important to know what the connection is between Dr. Eisenbeis and the classroom is that was what the basis of this college was built on, is to hire the very best faculty to create the very best opportunity for students to get the very best education. And I was hired by Dr. Eisenbeis in 1967, and I can truly say that there was such a great focus on performance in the classroom and a commitment by him to making sure that that was the hallmark for which we gained our notoriety. And he also recognized the fact that teachers can't do it by themselves. And many of us have experienced being in classrooms where we need extra help, we need extra services, we need an extra pair of hands, another car, whatever it is that helps us do what we need to do to be successful. And so the volunteer in the classroom is the nature of this particular award. Now, Mike, he was hired in 1993 with us as a part-time welding instructor, and has helped mold and create and move our welding program into one of the finest in the nation, as evidenced by the success of our students at state and national competition. But Mike doesn't stop there. I know I was reading a piece about what John said. When John came here, Coscamo, the Dean for Workforce and Economic Development, his first 2 years, he saw Mike so much he thought he was one of our full-time faculty, you know. But no, it was just Mike doing what Mike does best, and that's reaching out and touching the lives of students who he recognizes are going to be our next important people in our community that drive our economic stability within San Luis County. He's taken welding teams on his own time and his own expense to compete in Arizona Western College Institute of Welding Technology. He's at every regional, state, and national Skills USA competition. There's this kind of team that goes along with it. I don't know if it's part of the that welding cult or skills cult, but it is a very close-knit and very supportive environment. It's no wonder our students can't fail, because they have such a great role model in Mike and Ronald McDonald and Rob Thorson and others that really create this beyond the boundary of a job description mentality, which is really so important to model for our students, that there's more to life than a job and more to life than a paycheck. It's really the passion you put into what makes it a special environment. So, Mike, again, as I said on Saturday, I'm very, very proud to have you as part of our faculty and part of our volunteer corps, because you do set the bar, and I really appreciate that. Congratulations.
I actually get the chance to say something?
Yeah, you do.
Well, Simon's got a big grin on his face because he remembers some of those trips I took him on as a student, and hopefully we can pass that legacy on. Volunteerism, I really don't know what that word means. When you get up in the morning, and I'm a deputy weld inspector, and I travel the countryside, the county side, today, working with my students that have graduated from our program, entered industry, and entered the workforce. So having that opportunity of bringing that back in the evening and sharing that has made the word volunteerism kind of go away and just seem like the right thing to do. You know, when you run across somebody, just recently, I ran into a student on a job site. Hey, Mr. Fons, how you doing? It's like, don't you remember me? You taught me how to weld 18 years ago. It's like, yeah. How you doing? Oh, good, good. I got wife and family and everything. What was your name again? Type of deal. It's like, oh, okay. I blame that on the welding fumes, but I think it's just getting old. So being involved is it's something that comes from the heart. It comes from the passion of being a member of this Cuesta team. The other thing I'd like to say is, as I look back at my video friends that were working, and I see Pat back there, and I see the tripod there sitting with all the new equipment, camera and everything, and we're talking about transparency, and I'm looking at that tripod, I'm thinking, man, what a great, stable way to introduce and to show what we do and what we showcase here. And each one of those has separate legs that hold it up and make it steady. And on each of those legs, first, without one leg being my administration, John Costamo, John Stokes, Rob Thorson, being right there to give everything we got for our CTE, for our programs, that camera would shake and fall. Without industry backing us, providing, this Saturday is going to provide $8,000 worth of prizes for our state FFA welding competition, where we'll be hosting 18 teams from all over the state of California in conjunction with Cal Poly for FFA. they'll be there, and there's $8,000 worth of gifts to give away to these individuals. So without that industry support, once again, that camera would fall. The last and strongest is my family. Without them, I couldn't do it. My wife always asks me, what time are you going to be home? I'm tired. I'm tired of you being gone on Saturdays. How come you always have a welding competition? How come you're always practicing? How come you're always at somebody else's shop? You know, when are we going to spend time together? It's like, well, maybe after commencements, you know, type of deal, we get that done. But we still have to practice to go to nationals back in Kansas City, you know, we have to do that type of deal. It's that portion of the family commitment that has brought me here. Without them supporting me and being there by my side, I couldn't do it. So, thank you.
Well, now, Mike, I know why it was so important that we have your wife with us on Saturday at the luncheon. Because not only was she with you, we got to feed her too, you know, and that was really good. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to congratulate all of our award recipients and say thank you again to all four of them for making the life of our Cuesta College students that much more meaningful. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here today and to celebrate their accomplishment and move us forward to identifying the next round of significant volunteers for Cuesta College. Have a great day. Thank you.